Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to BlackOut Gaming TV, that is. It's not TV. Can't even talk. We are on for our third day in a row of Highlander Nations Cup action. It is the 5th edition. We are in 2017. And we're going to duke it out to see who is the best nation at Highlander. Tonight we have a nice game for you between two historically strong nations. In one corner we've got Norway, who in the past have reached up to the semi-finals of the competition. And on the other side, we have, featuring some nice Prem players as well, the Netherlands. I'm CeeJaey, and joining me tonight is head admin Stinson out, co-casting with Wiethoofd on the camera. Stinson, how are you doing, my man?
Hello, everybody. I'm doing just fine, and I'm psyched to go. I think they pretty much ready up in real time, so I have 90 seconds to talk about the rosters here, so let me read them out here. Wiethoofd has done some research, and I've been told that Norway is gonna start with Trader on Scout, Tickle on Soldier, Yahoo on Pyro, Ixo on Demo, Torp on Heavy, Gerhardsen on Engineer, Andrea on Medic, Human Shaped Toilet, whoever that is, on Sniper, and Bran Mulvik on Spy. On the Dutchy side, we have Jenny on Scout, 42 on Soldier, Skyro on Pyro, Silas on Demo, Rainy on Heavy, Timtom Medic, I presume, Weingar on Engineer, Jelly Sniper, and Nightmare Spy. CeeJaey, you probably know these players better than me. What do you think? How is this game gonna go?
It's difficult. It's difficult. I mean, if you were to say based on history alone, you'd say Norway. I mean, Norway had a very, very strong side. I think 2014 they had one of the strongest sides where they had a lot of It's All Good players like Fanny and Rudy. Players and Lenny, of course, real gems who played in Prem finals in the past. But a lot of those players have moved on now. We kind of have a new crop of players, and there are some players here who are pretty strong. We've got Yahoo, who plays the Pyro. He's a Prem winner with STCK. Yixo on Demo, his team is Crazy Boy Clan, and they recently won high, so he'll be playing Prem next season. Players like Vetleaks have been around for a while as well, as Andy has played sixes at a fairly high level. Endrio is also a very experienced player, so there's a lot of experience and kind of high quality on the Norway team on the face of it. But when you look at the Dutch team, again, players like Skyro and Sinos, they're players who've been around for a long time. And then when you throw into the mix players like Jelly and Nightmare, who've played Prem for the past couple of seasons on those assassin classes, the pit classes, they could cause a hefty bit of damage, and if they can start getting underway, then who knows the way this could go. So I think the first round is going to be pretty key. It may set the tone for the rest of the match, but I think it's going to be a pretty close one. I mean, do you have any thoughts just looking at the rosters?
I don't know, man. I just remember the good old times when our cameraman Wiethoofd was playing for the Dutchies. So I remember Quill was a good Pyro for Netherlands one at a time, and Kakulti was playing Heavy. But on the regular roster that's playing right now, I only really remember Jelly and 42, who has been to Deutschland. I think though that Norway, I would give them the edge here. They have more active players in terms of higher divisions, and they seem to have players of higher divisions on their key classes for like Ixo and Demo and Yahoo and Pyro, who is like Yahoo is a god, to be honest. Like behind Steve, he's probably the second best Pyro in Europe right now. Also a former teammate of mine, so gotta root for him. I don't know. I hope we're having a close game. I don't want to leave after 20 minutes, but I think that Norway, I predict a 2-0, to be honest. Maybe a close 2-0, but a 2-0.
That sounds a reasonable expectation. I mean, I think one thing, looking at the rosters is one thing, and obviously this is the first match in this group, so these teams haven't had any public displays yet, but it often comes down to, have these teams practiced? Have they actually had any scrims? Have they actually had a warm-up? Have they talked through the map, had some tactic discussions? If a team has theoretically worse players, but they've actually been scrimming and practicing as a unit, then often that team will perform better than a team that's just got some good players thrown in. So I know the Dutch have been scrimming. I've seen some logs of theirs, and it's interesting. I mean, they've been faring well. So I think this Dutch team, because in the past we've had some really, really good players on the Dutch squads, but I don't think they've ever really excelled. But I think there's a little bit of hope for this Dutch team. I think they could actually do some damage in this competition. So yeah, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a 4-2. I'm gonna say, or a 2-1, should I say? Which way, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure both of these teams can actually pick up a round tonight.
Alright, fair enough. So as we just went ready here and we are on setup time, you will see the Dutch team defending first on the red and Norway on the blue, CeeJaey. You know, the Dutch team seems to go for like a standard defense here with the sentry like near the tracks and the dispenser in the corner, and there's blocking the stairs so the spy can't get up to the sniper who's probably holding there. How do you like approach this first point here? Do you just go for suicides or just like spam your way into the defense?
Teams can do it either way. I mean, I've seen traditionally the traditional way is to just send in your demo, your soldier, and your spy, and just kind of coordinate some sort of stab and sack. But these days, you know, a lot more teams just decide to walk forward and just try to frag their way in, get some picks. As we see Yixo going down, the first casualty of this tie. So yeah, not really a suicide going on there, just kind of working his way forward. And the spy for Norway has actually gone behind and actually taken down the teleporter. So that's going to slow down the respawns from the Dutch team. So, you know, in the long run, it's going to affect their defense on this first point. But at the moment, they're holding strong. And actually, Jelly getting a few frags here and there actually is actually holding fast. And Tickle goes for a jump, can't get anything done, gets taken down. And Yixo is so close to down again. He's at 8 HP here. So nothing really of note to talk about since, and it's just kind of poking and prodding.
Yeah, that is true. I was watching the Norwegian spy here, just going for his 1 centigrade, and he's trying to try in a second soon, but actually he goes for the medic. Deke looks now he should be caught out pretty soon, but it was a really good play by Skyro. You know, he knew the spy was zapping the teleporter, and he counted down and caught out the spy exactly when he arrived at the sentry gun. And now Tick is going for another bomb here on Jelly. Jelly would be a really nice pick, but he's so weak, and good deny here by the red team actually. Heavy goes down for Norway as well goes Tickly. So, you know, no crack in the armor yet. I would like to just like see them push out, trade Ubers, maybe seek go from there, but right now the Dutchies seem to have like a really good setup here on the first point.
They seem very comfortable. Any person who's died for them at the moment is Nightmare. Timtum is so low there, was down to about 50 HP, and the conch has been used by the Dutch, just trying to make some space there, scaring off the Norwegians. They're not kind of wanting to move forward into that conch, as every hit that they take is going to give health to their opponents. Jenny being forced to back off there, taking a fair bit of damage, but yeah, we do see this line being held very strongly here. Xenos goes down really, really low and is actually going to get fragged there by Yixo. So Demo down for the defending side, and a big stab comes in. Bran takes down Rainy with the backstab, so no combo players for the Dutch team to work here. Huge Uber comes in, but it's really, really early. Now Skyro's going to take most of that, but it does look like Netherlands have to back off here. They've only lost a couple of players, but they're just not in a position to defend this successfully. Excuse me, Yixo there getting hammered into oblivion, Stinson, with that power jack from Skyro. So, I mean, 2 minutes 29. The Dutch are going to be very, very happy with that.
Yeah, that's a pretty good time on the first point. Now that we're going to see like a lot of people who commit to the first point too much kind of failed to hold the second point, which is a more viable point to hold. And as you can see right now, the red engineer is just now setting up the sentry gun, so they have to buy a lot of time here as the Uber has been popped on the first point, and both medics are around 60% right now. They're gonna hit Uber at the same time, but X is already putting on the pressure here, spamming back the medic. Oh my god, he was like 10 HP or something. So, you know, if Norway is smart now, they would take you the high ground, and then you can pretty much just easily spam off the combo. As both medics are gonna hit 100% in a couple of seconds now, and Wiethoofd is so low in the tunnel, so Norway is taking their sweet time to get a high ground. I would have liked them to push a little bit faster, but apparently both teams just decided not to shoot each other.
Well, I mean, this cart has been moving very, very slowly. It's only had 1 times on it, if anything at all, and that might come to cost Norway, as they do use the Uber here. Engio getting forced. They're going to move forward, take down that sentry, but the counter Uber is going to come in. Xenos and Skyro taking most of that. They're just trying to clean up the car here. They are picking up frags. Wiethoofd gets headshot there by Jelly. Skyro is trying to chase away Yahoo, and is also fighting the scout at the same time. Traitor getting headshot there by Nightmare. And great cleanup here coming in from the Netherlands. Only losing 2 players, but picking up pretty much the entire Norwegian squad. Yahoo is doing the best he can to try and block that cart. Push that cart. But Jenny successfully blocks it with the help from Nightmare. So a great counter there by the Netherlands. They just held their position, and because that cart wasn't in position, so like I was saying earlier, it wasn't in a far enough position that it wasn't dangerous. They didn't need to worry about actually defending it. They could just focus on the frags, and they were in a pretty solid position.
To be fair, like, I had the feeling that Norway was expecting the Dutchies to hold far closer because they popped so early, but they just were like pretty much in their spawn, just kind of popped them in their face and got triggered really late. So they just have seen up all the frags, and now Dutch is gonna sit on 100%. So they're gonna go. The Norwegian people have to go for like a really good bomb or some kind of suicide on the medic. I don't know, like at least 1 or 2 picks, because this is a dominant position the Dutchies have here. They're fairly defensive, but the sentry gun is gonna trigger the Uber really fast.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I wanted to say something before anything happened. Looking at the top players on the Dutch right now, you've got Tim Tom, who's on a 2 kill streak, nothing to write home about, I guess. Rainy on there has got a nice domination, 3 kill streak. And then we got Nightmare, domination, 3 kill streak. Like, a lot of these Dutch players aren't dying. Like, they're getting dominations very early on in the game. And as I say that, Tim Tom does go down, he does drop. So the Uber for the for Norway is going to come in here. Netherlands pretty much have to back out and try to concentrate on third. But wow, look at this sentry gun. Vinegar doing a great job. And actually just wrangling his sentry and then using the rescue rangers just to keep it alive and take the entire focus of the Norwegian Uber. So they're going to struggle to push through third here. Although that's not going to stop Yixo and Yahoo from trying. Xenos is going to crater. Oh dear. 2 players going down in quick succession there. And I'm pretty sure I've baited the Netherlands. And curse of the caster there, Stinson. And it might be difficult for them to hold on to that. But they are picking up frags here.
Yeah, that was exactly the big play I was talking about. The spy drops Tim Tom here. And I think Norway has bitten off a little bit more than Kachu. A lot of people that push too forward without pushing the card, which has happened here as well. And now it's just the enemy. It's ×1 again. You really need ×3 between the second and the third point, because you have to push the card all the way up the loop here. Now the red sniper has a dominant position on the tracks. You really want to deny that. Blue Uber is gonna, well, has to come out really soon though, as Tim Tom is only on 70%. I don't know if they're gonna make it though, because Norway is taking their sweet time. Ticket is trying to put some pressure on the flank as sentry gun gets zapped by the blue team, but nothing's really happening right now.
This is pretty much the standard hold you see these days. You got your heavy on the balcony there. Xenos the demo watching that. He actually could get dropped here if he's not careful. The Uber does come in from the Netherlands. The Norwegians took far too long in actually using that advantage, but they do have man advantage at the moment. 2 players down, but Yixo gets piped using that that cannon, gets taken down by Xenos, and Andy also goes down. There's just so much pressure coming in from all of the players that Norway, they want to take more time than they actually have, it seems, at the moment. They're taking too long to actually do these pushes, and people are getting dropped and people are getting picked off, and when they actually come in with the pushes, they're not doing it on any sort of advantage. So Netherlands, like, they're performing really well. They're playing really solidly.
Yeah, I think it comes down to when you what you said in the earlier stages, that Norway maybe doesn't scrim so much, so you know the combo is not on the same page, and they count Ubers as effectively as they should be. And Netherlands are doing a great job at taking advantage of these situations where Norway should have the advantage, but they're just not doing anything.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of free time here coming on from Traitor, the scout for Norway. So she's just capping the cart casually by himself. Got it up that first little ramp there. So he's in a decent position now. It's going to be a lot more pressure, a lot more focus as Tim Tom does go down. I think that was another drop actually. Wow, the spy here, Bran, is just going huge, getting another drop onto the medic. The Norwegian Uber comes in, they're trying to pick up some frags, but they don't pick up much. Vetlix actually gets dropped from that 42, just in behind enemy lines, picks up the frag, and also gets Yixo as well. And then Xenos moves forward and goes and takes down Endrio. Yahoo gets gunned down by Rainy, he's on a 6 kill streak right now. And Netherlands have just kited this Uber and just absolutely obliterated that attack from Norway. And once again, that cart's got up another little notch. It's up that, that second little ramp there. So it's edging closer, Stinson, but they would have wanted more value out of that Uber. Surely they had 100% advantage, and they picked up practically nothing from it.
It's just the combo moving forward from Norway, and then the Uber runs out and nobody's there to actually do any damage. I don't know what they're really doing, and they surely should have been able to pick up the 3rd point at least here. Usually you wanna, even when the medic's down, you wanna roll into last, because last is also really notoriously hard to push on upward, but I don't know, like, Netherlands comes away with so much stuff here, medic just dropping twice and they're still here on the 3rd point, still defending the card really effectively. Ixo goes so low all the time, holy moly. But, you know, the presence of Jelly, who is top fragging or top scoring at like 33 points right now, above his medic, is also really intimidating on this 3rd point, because he has the high ground and he's hard to touch there in the backline, CeeJaey.
Yeah, I mean, Jelly definitely has been just putting on that pressure and getting picks here and there. Yixo goes down again, being dominated by Rainy the Heavy, and then the Spy this time isn't going to get a backstab. Brand caught out by the Sentry, and I don't know, it just seems that, oh wow, no, actually, scratch that. Andy does take down, gets revenge onto Jelly, so no sniper for the Dutch right now. It's going to be difficult for them to prevent any sort of Uber coming in, as Andy's going to pick up another kill, this time onto Jenny, so no scout. And that's going to be a lot of pressure. They just need to heal up and move forward here, and they could actually delay their Uber for quite a long time. But I was going to say, in that previous push, 42 was key there, picking up the frags behind the Uber, behind all of where the action was going on, and that wasn't picked up, and that needs to be picked up, you know. But oh no, wow, Yixo tries to walk in, and Xenos goes down really low. He's going to get picked off there, but does take down the demo, so that's just going to stun any sort of push. Lots of frags going for both teams here, and looks like Norway are just going to try and ease that cart forward. The Dutch have a much better counter Uber. They use the conch at the same time. 42 getting so much damage onto that cart. Timtum just trying to flash Skyro as far forward as he can, and they don't get many frag stints, but they've just held position, and you know, they're not giving up that third point just yet.
That was really weird. They had the Jelly Pig, who has been dominating so far, but they didn't move up at all. They didn't push the car, they didn't do anything. Then the demo just maybe kind of lost conscience and just walked forward, died, and then the Norwegian medic just got forced by a spy behind, and there was a really early pop with nobody around, so it was really easy for Tim to just counter pop, as Jelly just gets the better of Yellow here as well. But now the sneak up comes in, the cart was pushed up far enough to just touch it, and Timtum went down, apparently. I did miss that one. CeeJaey, did you see what happened there?
I didn't actually, I was focusing on the car as...
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Oh wow, big reflex Skyro takes down Andrew! I'm not sure if that was a drop. I didn't see how much percentage he has. Well, that's the second time in 2 days I've seen a Pyro reflective kill a medic with a rocket. Absolutely insane. And you just look at the Norway team. They are obliterated. Barely anybody alive. They're just getting respawns now. But Timtum's death didn't matter there. He's at 65%. He's going to have a nice, meaty 50% advantage. The Dutch team are all set up top. You got Rainy there, Xenos is there, Skyro's there. They're just going to enjoy that high ground. Oh no, here comes the Spy. Brand. No, can't get the pick. He gets caught out just in the end there. Timtum goes down very weak, but he's going to pick up that pack. As players are starting to walk up here, Timtum actually does go down. The Pure trying to just throwing their bodies in through that choke, and Yixo throwing those pipes up does take down the medic. So Benjo is going to have an Uber advantage unless someone like 42 comes in and kills him, Stinson, yeah, which is what's happening.
The medics just are not able to stay alive here. I mean, it must be good for Timtum though. He just keeps dying, but it doesn't even matter because Enria does as well. And if you have your soldier feeding the enemy pyro, then you know you just can't do anything when you're in Norway. I'm not sure. Like, usually, it's really hard to get into this high ground here, but I just saw Wiethoofd eating a sandwich here on the enemy turf, and he got down, like shot down by the spy. But blue team has a really good high ground advantage here. But the thing about Upward is you don't only have to have the high ground, you also have to cross the sideline and the sentry sidelines here, so it is hard to push, but...
Well, Norway have done pretty well in actually getting the car all the way through the choke. Like, it's right on the rim now, and I'm not sure about this sentry from Vinegar. It's on the low ground, so it's not really blocking that car. It's very, very easy for someone to just stand behind it, and they're not going to get shot by the sentry, so... maybe it's going to get rebuilt in a different position, I don't know. But the Dutch aren't in a great position right now. They've lost 3 players. Timtum is all the way back in spawn. Xenos is pretty much alone here on the low ground. He's not going to be able to deny much. As Nightmare comes in from behind, tries to get something done. He does actually, I think, get the force, or maybe it was the threat of the sniper with the counter. He's going to come in onto the heavy. Rain's going to do the best she can, trying to get some frags. But it's actually Xenos who comes in, landing those stickies, just getting so much damage down. Wow, nice pipes as well. Yixo's in there trying to get some damage onto Timtum. Big jump from Tickle in from behind. Gets some nice pipes combining there with Yixo, and it looks like Norway might actually just stack the cut. Rainey's there, but can't get enough damage to kill anybody. And it's going to be 13-45, Stinson. And I was expecting, when I said it was going to be close and we're going to see a 2-1, I was expecting to see kind of like fast times from both teams. Wasn't expecting to see kind of a nice long hold there from a team that early on in the game.
Yeah, it's surprising for me as well that the Netherlands managed to hold on this long to their 4 points. But you know, this could tell a story. But let's see how the Dutchies approach this offense here, because you know some people do like defending more than attacking, because you kind of are in this reaction kind of position. But when you're the blue team, when you have to do the first move, then it can be a really different story. So 13 minutes and 45 seconds, not gonna lie, that's a bad time. You usually want to have like an 8-minute time. 8-9 minutes is probably average, and probably maybe even 7. But,
I mean, definitely. Once you've hit into the double figures there, you're not going to be very happy with yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And even if you're at 8-9 minutes, you're kind of like, you know, that's verging on the kind of poor time. But still, it's defendable. It's defendable. We've seen teams held at first, second, third. You know, anything could happen. I just want to again draw attention to the dominations on the Dutch team. Jelly with 3 and Rainy with 4. Those guys have not been dying very much at all and been picking up frags. And wow, Yixo there takes down Xenos and Vinegar with a sticky trap. I'm not sure if that was a rock sticky trap or the old cart sticky trap, but that's going to slow down the Dutch push to begin with. And Naime's already gone all the way behind there, so he's going to try to do something maybe from the tunnel. He's actually fighting Traitor in the side tunnel all the way back on the second point. As 42 tries to come in here with Xenos, doesn't get anything done. And again, we're kind of seeing like a very slow push Stinson and some kind of like mini suicides, I'd say. Just nothing time kind of too direct.
No, it was a demo and the soldier suiciding here, but the sentry gun is in a very smart position where he still shoots the sniper balcony, so both demo and soldier got shot down there. Now they're trying to take the high ground here. Andy goes down to Jelly. Jelly is gonna be really comfortable here in this first point now. Sniping from the left, it's a really dominant position, and Timtum drops to Bran.
Bran, that's the third time Bran's gonna drop. Like, Bran's gonna be looking at his team and saying, "You're welcome, guys. You're welcome. I'm doing so much for you right now." Jelly opened it up there, taking down Andy, and Yixo dying as well. No demo, no sniper for the defending team is absolutely huge. That's like, there's not a bigger advantage that you can push on there. But Andy's on the respawn now, takes down Jelly himself. So the Dutch there have to regroup themselves. They need to make a play. They need to get something done onto the medic, because Endrio still has 100% Uber. Bran actually going on a bit of a mad one. He's on a 3k right now. He's just picking up the loose frags here and there, which is good for him. And he's actually going to get caught out now, finally. But Jelly does take down Vetlik, so no heavy. So maybe that's going to be a chance for a dry push. Doesn't get some damage without that anti-aircraft gun in the air. And it looks like they're going pretty deep here, since they're going to get the cap.
Yeah, they're gonna get the cap, and Andrew has to be really careful not to get caught out here, because who was it called? Skyro was air blasting him here, but he gets out, and now the Ubers are gonna be in favor of Norway, with the big stabs from Bran here. You would assume that they're gonna push the card a little bit faster. Now Bran goes for another play on the medic. I mean, why not? You already dropped the medic 3 times. I mean, you know, might as well go for it as well. But now we're getting a really dominant position on the B house, heavy spamming down. This might be a really fast B cap here, CeeJaey.
It could be. They're actually getting a lot. They've got ×3 on the car. Big jump in here from the soldiers, trying to get something down, but Fortitude doesn't manage to get any damage. The Uber is used by the Dutch onto the heavy. Not sure how much can be done here. It's been flashed into Xenos, maybe trying to give chase up the ramp. They're going to seal off this second point, but I'm pretty sure they could have done that without Uber, just by walking forward and threatening them, as Tim Tom goes down again to Bran. So Bran is just focusing the medic and doing very well with it at the moment, as Jelly is also down. So the Dutch are just kind of focusing the cart. They've got cart time, which is good. They're getting the cart forward, but at the moment Norway are in a comfortable position. They've got all of their players alive. They're just chilling on this third point. They have 100% Uber in the bank. It's going to take a play from the Netherlands to break this hold.
I mean, you gotta give kudos to Bran for always getting the medic, but it feels almost like it doesn't really matter, because the Netherlands held this map for like almost 40 minutes, with pretty much without Timtum. And maybe Bran should just go for the sniper here, because he is raging havoc while the medic is down. But you know, who am I to tell? As the red Uber gets forced by a nightmare, maybe. I don't even know.
Well, yeah, I mean, what happened there? I think Vetleaks, the heavy, took so much damage that Endrio wanted to use his Uber to save him, but Vetleaks got dropped anyway, and Andy also died, so there was an Uber used on pretty much nothing. So that's going to hand a huge advantage over to the Netherlands, but they do have very many weak players and no demo to assist them in this push. But Jelly is not caring about that. He's going to take down the enemy sniper Andy once again, and oh no! Skyro gets dropped out of the Uber. Timtum tries to take him around the corner, and it does look like Norway may be able to hold on to this. Look at Jenny trying the best to get that car up the hill, but he's going to lose the MGE battle to Traitor. And TimTom goes down again to Bran. So the Spy getting in behind, and he's going to give his team a huge Uber advantage. Endry is at 90% already, and Norway live on to fight another day. 9 minutes and 20 seconds, Stinson. Still a long time to hold, but you know, all it takes is slip-ups like that, and you know, Norway can just chip away those minutes.
Yeah, Rainy and 42 going for flank here on the Sea House. 42 jumping in, but there's still a sentry gun and loads of pyros and scouts who wanna blast you away from this. Now the Ticker is gonna contest the card here, cleaning up nice frags. It looks like Norway has stabilized here. There was an excruciatingly bad push from Netherlands here on the base. Nightmare just charges through the whole team, goes behind. We're gonna see him back in a minute. But yeah, like TimTom's unawareness of spies has really hurt now, as Xenos went down to Bran as well. So no spam here on this choke point area, which, you know, you really want to have your demo up here if you just want to spam your way into this high ground. The red team usually has a really favored position on.
Like, Xenos is doing his best hit, and then he gets taken down by Yigso. I was just going to say, at the moment, it just seems that the Netherlands aren't really putting much pressure anywhere at the moment. You know, Bran's getting in behind, and he's just picking people off, and it's maybe frustrating them. But the rest of the Dutch team is just kind of chilling. They're just waiting for the Uber, and that's not a good thing to do. You want people doing stuff. You see Jenny right now trying to get that car up, but if no one else is doing anything, and TimTom gets domed with 100% Uber, so that's another drop coming out of him, but this time it's Andy who is the one to inflict the pain. And Andrew has had 100% Uber for a while now, and has just been chilling inside that house, not worried about anything whatsoever. No one has got close to him. He's just calmly doing nothing. He's just healing up his team, and like, that's what I mean. Like, okay, so now the Netherlands, they've got time. You know, TimTom's at 20%. He needs to, you know, build up his Uber. The rest of the team can push forward. Go forward, try to get a pick. Look at Jenny trying to get that car up. Someone else proved to be a distraction. Move forward and do something to try and scare them, to make them look in a different direction. Because at the moment, individuals are going forward. Players like Jenny, players like Xenos, who are trying to make plays, and they're getting picked off because they don't have the support from the rest of the team. But Nightmare, though, does use his ambassador to take down Andy, so no sniper to worry about during this next push. And we'll see if NG is going to come under any threat anytime soon.
Yeah, but Jetty goes down as well, so you know, no sniper for the blue team here. I'm really not sure what the Netherlands are thinking about. The TimTom goes down again though to bomb, I think. From
Tickle just bombed down the slope and landed 2 rockets and took him down.
I know, this was definitely his team's fault, but I hate to pick on medics, but TimTom seems to be unaware of assassin classes in this game. I'm not sure if he's a 6th medic. Sometimes 6th medics do forget that there's spies and snipers at all times, so that might be an issue. But Netherlands just have not been keeping her medic alive, and Ram's going for another play on the combo here, gets taken out this time though. But yeah, like if you can't keep your medic alive, it'd be really hard to push this, and only 6 minutes and 17 seconds left here out of these 13 and a half almost. I mean, this is definitely possible at this point.
Yeah, and actually Andy's gone down, and Tickle gets taken down as well by Jenny, who they're just focusing the car. They've got 4 players on the car. Not a good idea in my opinion, but it does actually force Norway to use the Uber. Yigso there with Yahoo just cleaning up the car. Yahoo on an 8 kill streak. And they're going to clean up a few players, but they're losing players in the process. Players are coming in from behind, and the cap finally comes down from Jenny. So we've got 5 minutes and 45 seconds left for the Netherlands to push last, and they use the Uber. Why are you using Uber there? There's nobody around. Xenos is going to jump forward doing his best, and he actually does pick up 2 frags. Takes down Traitor and Andy. So making the best out of a bad situation. Vetlix here might be caught out. Takes a pipe to the face, but with that fist of steel, isn't going to be worried about any pesky pipes hitting him in the back. And Yellow is just going to spawn now, so isn't going to have a level 3 setup just yet, and because of the fact that NGO died, it is equal Uber, Stinson, but that could be much more efficient there. So, oh, Brad comes in from behind, takes down Vinegar, just slowing that cart pushing power. And Norway, like we saw the Netherlands earlier, have control of that top, so we'll see if they can hold on for longer than the Dutch did.
Yeah, and Rainy goes down here, so Norway is gonna hold on for the Embryo though gets butter knife by Nightmare. I think he ate a headshot or something, and then he got butter knifed. So, you know, as I say that Norway is gonna have an advantage, and we just goes down to the spy. So much going on here. People are all over the place, and the Netherlands just capping the card here on 3rd by just walking forward. Who would have thought that's a good idea? But Timtum goes down as well. I mean, I can't even talk as fast as medics die here in this game, CeeJaey.
Yeah, I mean, Yixo was holding the stairs, and the Dutch just kind of walked in, and they all took a ton of damage from Yixo's stick. So they've lost a lot of players, and Jenny is just doing an absolute stellar job, just focusing the car, and no one's actually trying to contest it. Finally, oh wow, 2 meat shots, takes down Traitor, and now it's time for Vecleaks to try and do something here. The Norwegians aren't focusing the car, and they've allowed it to get all the way to the end there. Yellow getting headshot by Jelly, huge pick there, as that sentry is just going to be totally unguarded. It's only a level 1 anyway, and there's only 5 players left alive for Norway. Make that 4, as Yahoo had a massive kill streak at one point there, and that has actually gone down. Sorry, no, he's still on a massive kill streak, 14 kill streak.
14 kill streak, just killed the medic as well. I mean, you know, why not?
Doing his best as Endrio is underneath the car but cannot stop and cannot block, with just over 3 minutes left on the clock. That is going to be the first round win going to the Netherlands, and I don't know, we thought it was going to be a close game, but I don't think we thought both teams would really struggle with that 3rd point, Stinson.
Yeah, what that game was all over the place. I'm not gonna lie, I have no clue what was going on there on this last push. People just kept dying, and well, it's fair to say this is not an average Prem level game. This is Nations Cup, guys. We don't question what's happening. This is just, you know, good old Highlander. Everybody's having a good time, I hope. But yeah, Netherlands are taking the first round, so it's 1-0 for them. I'm trying to figure out the logs here. CeeJaey,
I don't think they've been uploaded. I'm looking for them, and the last thing I can see is a mix between Netherlands and looks like Italy. So it doesn't look like the logs have been uploaded at the moment. So we'll wait. I'm sure they will come up. But without looking at stats, as we haven't got them available just yet, who do you think was the defining factor across both rounds? Because, I mean, both teams, it just seemed that the Netherlands had a really good hold on 3rd, but so did Norway. And on the last point, we didn't see much time gained on last point at all. It was maybe a minute or 2 for both teams. So they really seemed to struggle to get any sort of last hold going. And I think the difference between the two teams was the fact that the Netherlands held on to the 2nd point slightly longer than the Norwegians did. But which players kind of excelled for the Netherlands? Like, which Dutchies actually played a big part in getting that round win?
Well, obviously Jelly. I don't see the log, but I can imagine he has an insane amount of frags. I wouldn't be surprised if he top fragged. He has 62 points right now. Surprisingly for me though, I thought Andy was getting totally crushed by Jelly, but he also has 56 points. Maybe he directed some people to extinguish and get the bonus points, but you know, Andy has apparently been sniping well, maybe except for Jelly, because Jelly has been just crazy this game so far. Rainy with 66 points, probably a factor as well, but I want to point out that Ixo, for me, on the Norway side, is clearly the best player, because I can really see him getting impatient if if the enemy medic dropped again, or if they're giving space to his team. Like, he's always the first one walking forward, dealing a shitload of damage. And I don't know him, but you know, it seems like he may be a little bit, you know, unhappy about his team not following him as much as he'd like. Because demos are really greedy for damage, and if they do damage and they instantly know they did damage, then you know, they kind of want to charge forward. But if the team is just so defensive, as we've seen Norway on the pushing on the blue team, then you know, sometimes they get tilted.
Yeah, I mean, that does happen, and that is going to happen in the Nations Cup. We are going to see teams with players who are maybe more experienced than their counterparts, and you know, sometimes, yeah, Demo is such a key class. I mean, Demo and Sniper are pretty much the most important classes on a payload map, such as Upward. And if the Demo can continuously put out damage, he needs the rest of his team to follow up on that damage and, you know, pick off the frags and finish off the players that he's done damage to. And if the players aren't doing that, then it's a struggle. And, you know, again, we don't know how much practice these guys have had in this team environment, but it did look like the Netherlands just had a much better better setup, a much better team coordination. There were a lot of good plays coming out from, okay, so Jelly and Nightmare, probably the two names everyone's going to recognize on the Dutch team. But those guys did pull in frags, but it was the rest of the team. It was the flank, and it was the combo that were actually working very well together, and worked pretty well.
Yeah, I think the Netherlands have been just a better team. I think that the Norwegian combo knew what they were doing, the flank knew what they were doing, but they didn't really play it together, and people kept walking forward, and then people didn't walk forward with them, and they got picked off. So Netherlands definitely, for me, surprisingly, look like the better team at the moment, and they just have to do a better job at protecting Timtum. I'm not sure if it's his positioning, because I always have the free camera here. I'm not focusing any players exactly, but if they can get that under control, I don't see Norway really doing anything, because so far they've been living off this Timtum drops, in my opinion.
Yeah, and apparently the logs are unavailable. Apparently, this is a Norwegian rented server or claimed server, and they were unable to. They did something with the logs. They did something with the server. They did something with the config, and the logs are unavailable, which is really disappointing, because I would have really liked to have seen. Actually, does it look like they're re-execing the config? So hopefully for the second round we will see some logs. But I mean, judging from the players that we saw in game, I do think that Jelly probably top fragged based on points, based on what we were seeing him do in game. I think Rainy's KAD must be pretty big. She had a lot of dominations and decent kill streaks, and I think staying alive, trying to protect her medic as best she could, probably worked pretty well. As well as Xenos, I think he's going to have decent damage. This is a good session. Stinsons will be right back. I'm alone right now, and I'm just trying to guess what's happening on logs. So this is a fun segment. Yahoo did have a massive kill streak. He had about 14 kill streak, I think, in the end on that last defense. But the question is how many of those were triggering Nightmare's Dead Ringer. Who knows? But it'll be interesting to see the second round. So for those of you who are joining us, this is the Highlander Nations Cup 2017 edition. It is the 5th one, and now we're going to see which country in the world is going to be considered the best at Highlander by winning their way through the competition. So far, we've already seen some games this season across the different groups, and we are on our third day in a row of Highlander action. Today it is the Netherlands versus Norway, and it's going to be a key game, and a lot of people considering Norway as maybe one of the better sides, as they have that experience, they have that Scandinavian background, and have traditionally been one of the more successful Highlander teams in previous Nations Cup. But they're coming up against tough opposition here, as the Netherlands have taken the first round. We will have more games for you tomorrow, as
yeah, so I'm not sure we find any caches. Like, there are games tomorrow, but
I think there's at least. I mean, there's a lot of games tomorrow. I know Sweden versus Germany is probably the biggest one from that high seed group.
Yes,
the group of 4 teams that goes straight through to the playoffs. But yeah, so Germany versus Sweden will probably be a game worth looking at. I know there's other games tomorrow. I think Lithuania versus somebody. I know that was a decent looking game. I know Spain play Wales tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. But it does look like
CeeJaey.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. But we are. Looks like we're live again. Hopefully, logs are available. So this time around, we'll be seeing Norway push first in the blue, the Netherlands in the red, trying to defend as best they can, and then we'll swap over. And if the Netherlands do beat the time that is set and win this round, they'll take a clean 2-0 and a full 6 points for them in the table.
Wait,
and,
should it be the other way around? Didn't Norway push first last time? I think the Dutchies set the time, right? 30 minutes, 45 seconds should be the Dutchie time, so... I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they're switching teams. Yeah.
Yeah, they're switching teams.
Yeah, they're switching teams. So scratch that. Dutchy attacking first in the blue. They'll be setting a time, and Norway will be trying to defeat it when they have their attacking phase. I mean, looking at the teams, we were talking about the players that did well. What do you think Norway need to do to fix what went wrong in that first round? What do they need to know? Are there any players that need stepping up, or are there any kind of anything that they need to fix, coordination-wise with their team? Like, what needs to change for them to actually stay in this tie?
Yeah, honestly, I would like to see they just have a push where like everybody is going forward at the same time, or something that it looks like coordination, because so far, like I said, there's been a combo and there's been the rest of the team, and I feel like everybody's just playing a lobby right now because everybody's just trying to remember how to play upward, and there's no cohesion. I would also like to see Bran. I mean, he has had success with stabbing Timtim, but I would like to see him focus Jelly more, because Jelly has been a huge factor, especially on upward and on offense here. But let's see how the Dutchies are gonna go for this first round. Last time they did not go for the suicide round. They were just kind of making their way up. As Jenny goes down to the obligatory sticky trap here on the demo, but just a scout is fine. He's gonna spawn in a second. And Demo Man, Xenos trying to spam his way from this. He's gonna get ready for a bomb. Bombing now this on the sniper deck. He's getting 1 stick, 2 sticks, but it's not enough to take anyone down. 42 goes down as well to Jelly. And Norway holding on for this right now, and Norway is gonna wait for response to CeeJaey.
Yeah, they threw some players in, and nothing really worked. And Andy has actually got the number of some players here, getting a few kills. And Jelly picking up Vetlix, so it's going to be pretty big. No heavy to deny the bombers, no heavy to watch that playground and try to defend it from the bombers onto the sniper, as Andy is quite far back and takes down Jelly again. So Andy actually picking up a few frags here. This Spencer will go down, and Yahoo will actually also go down on the defending team. Yellow is so very, very weak. So when you've got a weak NG and no Pyro, that's pretty much open for a bit of a push here. But the Norwegians...
Look at Bran. CeeJaey, look at Bran. He's
okay,
just waiting here. He knows whether Timtum is going to come out. And Timtum knows that he's going to wait for him, because he's not leaving the spawn, although they're having decent picks here. He's going for another round here. This car is really far forward, and Bran is just patiently waiting. He could have stabbed so many people, but Ixo goes down, Yellow goes down for Norway now. With so many picks, and surely Timtum has to leave spawn at some point now.
He's got to come out.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
I mean, this spot is so old if it works.
He sees the medic, he's gonna drop down, but he gets caught out by his Cairo. Nice rock here by a Pyro. So no other Timtum frag. And without really having to use any Ubers, Norway is able to push, Dutchies are able to push the first card here. Norway was forced during the meantime while we were watching Bran. So if Netherlands is really quick here now, they can just take the hill for free and maybe even catch out Andrea.
Yeah, 42 got a very late frag there onto Andy, so no sniper to watch that hill. It's just allowed the Dutchies to walk forward, take so much space. Yellow going down there, so that sentry is just a level 1, open to spam, but the backstab comes in from Bran. He is going to take down Timtum, and I think that was another drop, Stinson.
Yes, it was.
I'm pretty sure Bran has dropped Timtum 4 times now.
Yes.
If memory serves. I mean, he's got more picks, but at least 4 of them have been dropped.
We could just say he dropped it like 10 times. Nobody's gonna check, but yeah, it feels like it's way too many times. So
yeah. But I mean, the Norwegians have played off of that. That pick's been huge. They've just played around their medic and they've tried to clean up the car. Yixo and Vetlix are down, so they don't have much that stopping power amongst the combo. So maybe that's going to be a problem. That car has been pushed pretty close to the point. But Riv Rainey and her medic are inside that house up on the high ground. Jelly, they're getting a body shot and getting finally revenge onto Andy there. It's very difficult for Norway to defend this car when you've got a heavy gunning you down and a Pyro just deflecting spam there off the car. Xenos is finally in, trying to put some damage of his own down. And the Uber is going to come out from the defensive team. I think this is going to be a bit of a mistake. A huge Uber comes in. Yixo is taking all of it, but he can't get any frags, and he might get caught out here. Big rockets from 42. No, he's going to miss the last couple. Can he finish him off? He does. Jenny is going to come in and sweep and clean up on that kill. And no demo, no heavy. Stinson for this third point.
He just said it like huge Uber coming in. It could have been so huge, but there was just nobody there because it was scattering everybody, and that's just what happens. And the blue Uber comes out and sentry gun goes down instantly. Xenos just charging forward, everybody's slamming these stickies. Andy's trying to get a cheeky snap. Is he gonna hit the air shot? No, he's not. But Xenos might have been picking up so much, but Timtum just goes down by Andy. Andy's really feeding the group right now, actually. It's been fragging people left and right.
Did you see what he did there? I cannot believe what I've just witnessed. He got launched in the air, did like a little cheeky 360 in the middle of the air, landed, zoomed in, and shot Timtum's face
that's
off.
Gonna be on YouTube, good.
That was a pretty sick shot. Six shot, I love that. But it doesn't matter because Norway. Look at Vinegar. Oh, Vinegar's walking through towards shithouse now. Maybe he's gonna try and make a play
again, though.
Oh.
Holy
The thing
moly. I don't know
the
what
Dutch
they
are just
gave
kind of
them
focusing the cart. The Dutch are focusing the cart, so all of these frags on Timtum and all of these kind of frags elsewhere by other players doesn't matter so much when you're not concentrating on the objective. And the Dutch are focusing on the objective, and they got this cart all this way pretty much for free. So Andy there gets another frag onto Jelly, so he seems to have Jelly's number in this second round at least. And Norway are in a decent position, and once again, very, very similar to what we saw in the previous round. Endrio with 100% Uber, just chilling, and nobody really under much pressure. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Dutch do this time. They need to do something, a big play to make to break this hold.
Yeah, for sure. But with the way Andy has been stepping up so far in the second round here, it will be really hard actually, because he's just going on havoc. He's 24 points while Jelly has 9. That's a complete opposite to the first round here, and the Dutchies, I think they're getting scared of this. You know, if he hits these crazy shots, Sino's going for a bomb here. He does not get anyone at all. Norway goes, Andy goes down here to the bomb though. Like, I think it was a casualty. They were going for the medic. As the blue Uber comes out, red Uber has been popped way later though. Engineer gets flashed as well from the Dutchies. Nothing's really happening as Yahoo is in the perfect position to deny it. Goes down to a snipe though. Yellow goes down. So many people going down now from Norway. Actually, just 2 up for a second there. So yeah, it should be an easy retake. I thought it was a really bad push, but apparently that worked out.
Yeah, it just seems that everyone just walked forward together as a group, and it's like, okay, just kill people. As Endrio dies very, very late on, 14-second respawn now for him. So no medic, a nice reflect there from Yahoo to take down 42, just to save a little bit of face there. But Andy again taking down Jelly. So Andy he's really turned it on for this second round, trying to get his team into the game. 6 minutes and 16 seconds isn't the fastest time for 3 points, considering you still have to capture that last point as Rennie wins the heavy battle against Vetleaks, but it doesn't matter because Andy, using that Machina, is going to get a body shot onto Timtum. No medic, and I'm not sure if that was a drop. I think it was about 90% there, Stinson, so very demoralising for the Dutch again to lose their medic and not have an Uber for this attack, but they are picking up frags here. Rennie and Nightmare combining just to pick up frags left, right and centre. Skyro is in deep, Nightmare is on the spawn, and Norway are going to struggle to hold this. Like, look at Andy, he's doing his best to try and do something. Jenny focusing the cart, but once again, Stinson, that cart has gone all the way through to the little ridge pretty much for free.
Yeah, I gotta be honest here, dude. I watched the last 2 minutes. I was trying to snap the moment where Andy did this crazy shot on on Timtum here when he was launched, and it was sick. So we're definitely gonna be that on YouTube. But yeah, Timtum goes down again, and well, so far it didn't really matter because the cart is pretty much right there underneath the ramp, and I expect just some weird weed-headed Dutchie just walk on the car and win this game. As the red Uber is gonna be popped here on the low ground, they're getting a decent amount of frags here. So Timtum goes down as well, though I think that was a nice pop actually. That was really good. That worked for Norway. I mean, who would have thought?
Really good from Norway. They just knew where the enemy team was, and they used their Uber, and they just got everyone in to just frag. And it is actually equal Ubers because of the respawn time for the attacking team. Timtum has respawned, has actually got a small advantage on Endrio. But, you know, that was a good choice by Norway. It's allowed them to clean up and get into some sort of position here to try and solidify themselves on this high ground. They've got Yixo up there, they've got Vetleaks up there, and Endrio is there with Yahoo as well. So now, once again, just like we saw in that third point, it's up for the Dutch to try and work their way in and look for a pick, as Andy is going to take down Verkina. But Endrio does go down. Big bomb in from the soldier is going to take down Endrio. 42 making the plays. And that's going to be the door opened for the Netherlands. Timtum with 100% Uber, he can take his team in and just absolutely demolish them if they take it in the right place. Unless he gets backstabbed.
Never mind, there's Bram in the exact time. People were being excited about Netherlands having an advantage once again, but Bram is just like always there when they don't expect it. At least Timtum doesn't expect it. Yeah, so you know, you can cast your butt off, and then it's just like a spy stabbing a medic, and then it's gonna be a reset again. But Endrio goes down as well, though.
Yeah, just take a look at the cart though. Jenny and Rainy are on the cart. They're going to get spammed out there by Yixo. 2 free frags for him. But it's pushed the cart once again to a good position. Skyro is now on the cart. And he can just air blast things away, but he doesn't air blast the correct thing. Instead takes a face full of pipe from Yixo. But that's allowed the rest of the Dutch team to take this high ground. Jelly is up there getting some free snipes, but in comes Yahoo. He's going to pick up a few frags, including the medic. And that cart is tantalizingly
so
close. And Rainy's going to go in with the Fist of Steel. Doesn't want to shoot, just wants to fist and tickle. Falls into the pit, tries jumping in to defend that cart. Doesn't manage to do it. But this defensive hold coming in from Norway is actually working well. Instead, no! Jelly gets the headshot onto Yixo. No damage to defend that cart now. And this is a prime time for the Netherlands to walk in and get something done and try and focus that cart. They do have an uber disadvantage, but Norway don't have it yet. Enjo is only at 65%.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much happening at the same place. I'm pretty sure that the Dutchies are gonna get a little bit anxious here because you know the time is ticking against you. Norway, with every second that passes, their position for the attacking round is gonna get better. So just the Netherlands have to take a moment here, analyze what's happening. As Andy is down, Sniper Pyro is down, Ran is down. There's 4 people down for the Norwegian team here. Now you have to push it. That's what to do. They're gonna go on cut and finally push it in. It felt like it was long overdue, so it was 10 minutes 43 seconds. It's not a fast time, CeeJaey. We might be in for a golden cap here.
Yeah, again, it's not a fast time, but it's not as slow as we saw in the previous round. You know, if Norway still struggle the same way they did earlier on, it's still a potentially winning time here. So Norway definitely under pressure here. They need to push more successfully and more clinically they did in that first round. But I have to give a shout out to Jenny. I think Jenny just threw constantly on that cart, just constantly on that last point. And even when the cart rolls back a little bit, if you push that cart just towards the edge, it allows so much space for your team. Because if somebody is on that cart, it means that you need to focus that cart.
Yeah.
And if you don't focus the cart, it's going to get capped. And if you do, it means you're not directing your spam. You know, Yixo got so many frags killing people on the cart, but because he was doing that, that allowed the rest of the Dutch team to get into different positions and then focus the rest of his team. So,
yeah.
You know, if you're keeping the demo busy just by pushing the cart, it's a horrible job because you're going to constantly die, but it does actually come into effect.
Yeah, that's not fun as a scout to just like launch at the card all over again. And I wonder if that was intentional to just create a distraction and then for his team. But you know, as the gates are going down, Norway is going to be in the blue team here attacking and trying to tackle the time of 10 minutes and 43 seconds. Bran is going behind them already. Ix are just waiting here. Tika is kind of like tickling down on the flank. Get it? But probably back now, so nothing's really happening. Heavy is waiting for the heal. Nobody's really answering anything, and Andy goes down to a nice snipe. Yahoo gets caught out, and now there's bomb comes down from Ixo. Nothing really happening, but
yeah, big jump in, but just got taken down there. Really great denial from the Dutch team. They just focused the frags, but oh no, Rainy is going to get backstab headshot onto 42, and those are two pretty key players. There's no spam now to help on the flank, and there's no heavy for that denial. And yeah, 10 seconds until those guys respawn. So Norway could maybe choose to move out here or go for another round of suicides, and with a little bit more space and a little bit more freedom to do those. So we'll see what they do. Tickle is going to try and jump onto the playground here, but great! Gets absolutely denied there. Wow. And then gets finished up by Jenny and Jelly combining there, and Yixo dies as well to the Iron Bomber of Xenos. And it just seems that there's not that much coordination going on from the Norway suicides. They're going in slightly one at a time, and yeah, Tickle jumps in again here rather late, away from the rest of his team. So yeah, I mean, it's difficult. They need an opening, they need a frag, and when they did get the frags, they didn't combine well enough to get the rest of the frags in. So but Tickle's jumping in again, and yeah, he's just going to get denied by that Sentry.
Yeah, I mean, at this point you're gonna think that, oh, Blue Uber comes out though, CeeJaey, and it's definitely they trigger the counter block right away. It's a better Uber for the red team now, and everybody's just like fucking off. So nothing's really happening. And sorry, I just swear on stream. This is a friendly, family-friendly stream, but nothing's really happening. As Gyro goes down, Nixo goes down by a sentry gun, Andy goes down by a snipe, and now Samdong's trying to jump in, but nothing has really been touched here. Red team has to pull out though, I imagine. because people are just for some reason are really weak. I just watched Brand stab the demo here, that was hilarious. But yeah, so like what the Dutchies did here is, Norway just did here was like they just took the high ground, exchanged the Uber and then kept the high ground after the Uber, and that's why they were able to like get more spam off. It was a really risky play and it shouldn't have worked, but it worked in the end. So, and now Tick is trying to jump forward, he's trying to jump into the heavy though, so that's not gonna happen. And Norwegian combo is pushing Moria here, which is the tunnel area. Conch has been picked up though, and nice frags from Anto Ixo and Ticker here, so
Entry is going to get forced in such a bad position. I was going to say, leading into that, Timtum actually survived that first push, got out at the right time, and that allowed the Netherlands to set up on that second point in a really good position because he survived. If he had died there in that exchange on the first point, then the Dutch would have been in a pretty poor position. But because he survived and got back onto that rock, Rainy got set up, Jelly got set up, Xenos got set up, and they just focused so much spam in that side tunnel that everybody in the Norwegian combo died except for Endrio. He had to use his Uber to even escape, and in doing so, actually, oh, huge bomb from me! Wow! Yixo so close to taking down Timtum, goes down to less than 50 HP, but does in fact survive. And yeah, and that just allowed the Dutchies to clean up the rest of the frags. So, well played by them, less than 7 minutes to go, and they are actually going to win this second round. So Norway under a lot of pressure here. Jelly this time turning it on, taking down Andy. Another conch coming in from 42. Bran is trying to get in behind. Tickle is going to get reflect killed by Skyro. And it just looks again like Netherlands have this wall. They have this line which they don't want people to cross. And when they're in control of that area, Stinson, it's very difficult for Norway to break down as they try and Uber in through the tunnel.
Yeah, Ubering through the tunnel is like, you're right behind the guard, but nothing's really happening, so everyone's gonna get cut out here. Ixo goes down and the whole combo goes down. Enrio lives for now, but yeah, the card hasn't really moved, and you know, you don't even challenge the sentry gun there. It was a good job by the Dutchies to, you know, challenging this Uber right away when they came out of this tunnel. People are hoping to walk closer to the sentry gun, I guess, but you know, since they're Ubered, nobody was pushing the card anyways, and yeah, Dutchies is now in a dominant position here to hold the high ground once again. And one thing I wanted to point out though, like I'm really happy to watch 42 play like he does here. As he gets stabbed, when I say that, but he's been really smart with the conjure. He has been spamming a lot and then just pop the conjure on people, which is already a threat in itself. His Ixo goes down for a huge bomb, but he doesn't hit anything. But yeah, 42 is playing really smart. He really for his team here with the conch pops, with the black box, just always staying alive, taking so much damage, putting up so much damage here on people. So I really enjoy that.
Yeah, 42 has definitely been a standout player, especially on the second point. In the first round as well, on this second point, defensively using that conch. And okay, so maybe going for a solo conch play isn't a good idea, but he's incorporating his entire team, and his entire team are playing around him, and that works really, really well. And just keeping his team alive and, you know, getting that spam and that denial in that side tunnel. A lot of aggression coming here from the Netherlands. You see how far forward they are. Anyone who dares move forward slightly from Norway is just getting picked off. And less than 5 minutes to go now. The sentry does go down to Yixo, so no sentry. Rainy on an 11 kill streak. Oh, we got a collateral kill. Jelly getting a bit of penetration going on in this game, taking down Tickle, and there is actually an Uber exchange on top of the tunnel as 42 is going to go down. Rainy gets another kill onto Yahoo, but is going to trade with her life. Everyone else is very weak. Skyro, Xenos, Jenny all so weak. Timtum is so far back, very wisely, I think, trying to get back onto this third point. So Norway finally group up together and get a very successful Uber exchange.
This guy's going to go for a play on the card here. He burns a lot of people, but nobody really dies. But Knife just headshots straight in. Not that it really matters, but otherwise a nice play. So the second point goes down after, can't really see it because my heart is blocking it. After 8 minutes.
We got 3 minutes and 55 seconds to go.
Yeah, so 6 minutes for the first 2 points, which is it's a nice time for the defensive team, and Norway really has to. I'm watching NBO fighting the soldier. Unfortunately, not quite able to finish the job. But I was gonna say that 4 minutes for the last 2 points. You know, you gotta put on the pressure here on the blue team. And Norway has 100% Uber, but so has Netherlands. So it's gonna be tough here, and they're not moving forward yet. Time is ticking. It's 3.5 minutes right now, and now Yahoo is going forward because he can't take it anymore. Vetlix is kind of looking at this medic like, where do you go? Ixo gets dropped though, and he gets sniped. So you know, there's no pressure for now. He's trying to push up the card here on the ramp right now, but now the challenge comes in from Demo and Engineer, from Soldier. So this is not gonna go anywhere soon.
Yeah, I mean, we've been giving TimTum a bit of a hard time with the drops, but he's actually on a 10 kill streak right now. He's in a very safe position. He got out on first and got out on second at exactly the right times. And I think the fact that Xenos got out with him on that second point just allowed that denial on the third point. They do have an Uber here. Wow, Xenos is at 5 HP. Needs to get healed up. The Uber does come in. 42 with some sweet rockets there just to clean up anyone on the car. Yixo is very, very weak, really far behind. Isn't going to get anything done here, and that seems to be the problem, is that there's not enough focus on the car. If there was focus on the car when the Netherlands were down a few players there, maybe something could done. Skyrim comes in, is going to take down Endro. Medic down for Norway. Another conch comes in from 42, just trying to clean up the players on the car. Him and Jenny are just working really well together on that flank, and just denying any progress. Xenos is getting really aggressive as well, even without his medic. And Norway have got 2 minutes and 10 seconds to push these final 2 points. The car has been moving up a little bit further. So this is still possible, Simpson. It's still more than possible. But Yixo on 2 HP. How does he survive that? Gets an arrow to buff himself up a little bit there. But an Uber advantage for the Netherlands. It's going to be a tough nut to crack.
Yeah, now Norway commits the heavy onto the cart here, onto the flank even. Not sure what this plan is, but it seems to work out as Jelly went down, 42 went down, and the Scout went down. So like 4 picks right now. They need to pressure the card though. It's only times 2 right now, and the backstab goes down onto Andrew. So this is like, they're gonna get one more Uber into this last point, and you know, it's 1 minute 28 seconds. They have to have ×3 on the card at all times right now. And if you have to do that, it's really hard to take any kind of high ground, and TimTum is sitting on 100%. Unless there's gonna be a big play from some kind of class now. This surely has to go down in favor of Netherlands right now, CeeJaey.
I think the big play came out of Nightmare there. If he hadn't got the backstab onto NJ would have had Uber by now, and Norway would have been able to push in. Okay, Uber versus Uber, but it would have been with a huge man advantage, and that's allowed the Netherlands to just regroup here, buff up with 100% Uber. NJ is only at 50%. They got 45 seconds to go here. Yixo gets taken down, but no, the drop! Oh my word, Yixo just throws up the Iron Bomber pipes, trying to get those cannonballs to the feet of the medic, and does actually take down TimTum. He's on a 10-second respawn. So that 10 kill streak is out of the window, and the medic does drop. So 30 seconds here.
There's so much 90%, so like if they just focus the card, go on the flanks right now, but nothing's really happening. Tiki goes down, Ixo goes down. He's been overzealous though. I think he wanted to go in just as they hit 100%, and he might have gone in a second too early, and now everybody's just dying on card. Envy goes down, Yahoo goes down, but I think Ixo, if he just waited like a tenth of a second longer, would have been in this Uber, and now it's just 5 seconds. There's no way Norway is gonna push this.
I think Bran was chasing TimTum around the car and got like some sort of trick stab on him. It was like a merry-go-round and then ended up with death. But yeah, exactly what you're saying there.
Just death.
In the end, it's just death for us all. But in the end, you were totally correct there. Norway could, maybe should have won that. They had a really, really good position. They had 100% Uber. The enemy team had no medic. And for some reason, half of the Norwegian team push in through main and then just get gunned down. You have a heavy on top. Rainy was shooting down at the floor. 42, the soldier, was shooting down at the floor. Did so much damage. In combination, it caused players like Yixo to die. And when the Uber did come in, there wasn't enough players to actually make an effective Uber on the floor. Everyone just kited it. 42 jumped back up. And then at the end, him and Jenny combined to clean up the frags on the cart, working really well together all game. But I think that just exemplified it. You know, they used the conch at the right time. They combined at the right time. And in the end, it was so close. But just individual players working very well there for the Netherlands. You know, they played well as a team all the game, but in the end, it was individual skill there that actually to help take them to the victory. So maybe a bit of a surprise. Neither of us thought it was. Well, you thought it was going to be a 2-0, but you thought to Norway, and in the end, it's been a 2-0 clean sweep for the Netherlands.
It has improved once again that I know nothing about this game, so that's why I've been hesitant to cash these games, because people are gonna notice that I don't know anything, and then they're gonna.
But that's the best thing, like
position as the head admin. So
it's the best thing. Like everyone on paper would expected Norway. I mean, they're a former semi-finalist. They're a team that traditionally have had a very strong history in the competition, and you know what? It was close throughout the game, but in the end, it has been the Netherlands who came out on the top. This time, though, since we do have some logs to actually talk about. We do, and you know what? There's two things I'm going to point out here. Okay, first off, the top fraggers are Jelly and Jenny, which that rolls off the tongue. It's brilliant. I love it.
Lol.
But a scout getting 28 frags in 23 minutes, that's very impressive on a payload map. But Jelly was the top fragger there with 31. Then we've got Yixo. The other thing I want to point out, Yixo with 549 DPM, highest in the server. The second was actually 42. 42 getting 20 kills, but actually getting 476 DPM. So, doing as much work as we thought he was doing. Like I predicted, Stinson, in the previous game, Rainy having a high KD has the beast of a KD of 3.6. 2.2 KD, which is absolutely immense. Other people are barely breaking one, and she got 2.2. So that kind of passive heavy style, just staying alive, trying to protect your medics, seemed to work well out for the Netherlands. But I mean, what stands out for you there amongst the rest of the frags?
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, because you're like the ones you're the guy who congratulates people for good performance. But looking at the second round. You said 42 did a really great job, and I agree because I already pointed it out. But Tickle, on the other hand, the soldier for Norway, he went 6 and 24. So in sixes you would say he got dominated by the other soldier, but in Highlander you really don't have that many soldier to soldier encounters. So it feels like 42 just kind of knew better what his task was for this game, and also Tim. Just in the second round had 3 drops, and I don't even think we talked about the second round that much. And in the first round, he probably had more drops than that. So,
I think it was 4 in the first round.
If there was logs, I think he would have dropped 7 times tonight. And I don't want to be a biatch, but if you can't win after the enemy medic dropped 7 times, I don't think you should win.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. They had maybe opportunities and they didn't take hold of those opportunities. So, did you want to say though that you are wrong, because Tickle does actually win the game, because he got 4 air shots, which is more than everyone else combined, and everyone knows TF2 is all about the air shots. So,
but
Tickle
as
there.
We are joined by people here. Sorry to cut you off here, because there have been people lingering around in this mumble, and we say hello to Nightmare from Team Netherlands and Ixo from Norway.
Hello. Hello.
My first question going to Nightmare, did you expect to win this game? What were your thoughts?
Well, I don't want to sound like arrogant, but I kind of expected us to win if I just look at the players, because like comparing Norway to Netherlands, I think the best players that Norway has was probably Andy, Ixo, Andrio, and Yahoo, and those were basically like the main carries. And apart from that, if you like compare it to what we got, like we got myself, Jelly, I think Knoss is pretty good, Skyro's pretty good. We got Jenny and 40 on the flank that would they absolutely denied Trader and QNX. So yeah, I didn't expect us to lose, to be honest.
So looking forward, I mean, you guys confident in getting out of this group? I'm not sure what the other teams are in your group at the moment, but did you see this as your hardest challenge so far, or do you think there's harder tests to come?
I think it's gonna be the last week against Finland. Yeah, if you just look at their roster, they probably have like a lot of Prem players, well, Prem experienced players. So I'm most worried about them.
Okay. I mean, like, looking at this game in particular, I think you came in just as Stinson was talking about Timtum and his drops and stuff like that. What was the deciding factor? Because it did seem at certain points there that some things were going wrong, and it looked like Norway could get back into it, especially right at the end there. So what do you think was the defining factor?
Are we talking about the first match or the second?
Just in general, I mean, what was the difference between you and Norway today? I mean, you talked about the players, but what really made the difference in general in the gameplay?
Well, I think that Norway was basically playing around IXO, while we were basically more like a group. Like, I felt Norway was more as an individual, like Bren Molvik got a lot of medic picks during the first game that kind of denied us a lot of pushes. And in the second game, it was all about IXO. So those two were like, yeah, they denied us a lot. But then we played more as a team, I felt like, because our flank was just doing amazing. But yeah, I was getting denied quite a lot personally. So I can't really tell what exactly was going on.
Yeah, that's something we actually pointed out during the game as well. After the first round, actually, already, is that we thought that Netherlands were playing better as a team, and IXO that the Norwegian team had a combo and the rest of the team IXO. So from your point of view, I felt like you were getting anxious because you did have a crazy amount of times where you should have had a huge advantage, because like Nightmare said, Bren stabbed their medic like a ton of times, even dropped them. So I thought you from looking at you, it's like you wanted to go forward, but your team really didn't follow you. So what happened from your point of view? Were you like disjointed? Didn't you scrim as much, or what happened there? Why weren't you able to take advantage of these situations?
Well, I think it was like
I was
more
talking to IXO.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I don't know. Like, we haven't been scrimming that much, and we're like not as experienced people, but we're like good friends and we had fun. I don't care losing, to be honest. Just playing this for fun. But one of the problems, at least, was the aggression, as you said. But one of the times, apparently there was 3 people behind us that I didn't know about. But I expected my team to go forward. So that's one issue, at least. Not too good communication.
Looking at the rest of the group, obviously we mentioned Finland earlier, one of the other teams, and I've just looked it up, and it's Croatia. So looking at those two teams, do you think you can get sufficient points to make it out of the group? Do you see yourselves getting to the playoffs?
I don't know. Like, maybe we can beat Finland if we're lucky, I guess. But I feel like we should beat Croatia.
So, yeah, I mean, come on. Do you think you can beat Finland? Do you think... Because there's a lot of things I've been hearing about Finland. That when people have been naming their roster, I've heard a lot of good things. There's a lot of top quality players there. But other people have been saying they haven't been scrimming as much with their actual main team. So, do you think you can sneak in there? Because I was giving a motivational speech yesterday, right, to the Czech Republic. Because Mohawk was like, oh no, it's over, we ain't getting through the group. But... I think people need to look at the groups and think, actually, there's points available in every game. So, come on, you think you can do it?
Well, if QNX comes back to carry us, please, QNX.
Did he ever play with you yet in scrims, or was it?
Yeah, he played one scrim, but then he's moving back to his home now. So that's why he couldn't play tonight.
And Nightmare, what are your thoughts? Now with the first win under your belt, expecting probably to win one more match, and then grouping against Finland. Nightmare, how far is the wheat country going in this competition?
Well, next week is against Croatia. Steel isn't our best map, that's a fact. But like on Steel, everyone can win. Even the worst team can win against the best team on Steel. So I think that if we just look at the players, I think the Netherlands has better players overall. But yeah, Finland, I'm not quite sure, to be honest. We scrimmed twice against them, a double scrim, like the very first scrim with the very first trial roster against them. We won upwards and then lost Gully and Steel. But then the last scrim on last Sunday, we rolled them on every map. So I'm not quite sure. I'm not confident in saying we can win, but I'm also not going to say that. I think it's going to be a great challenge against Finland.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us, guys, and thank you for giving us a very nice spectacle to watch. We'll quickly do some shout-outs as we've got the pair of you here. So, Nightmare, is there anyone you want to shout out to?
Yeah, I want to shout out to Jelly for carrying us. Thanks, Jelly.
Okay, and Yixo, anyone shout out?
First of all, shout out Koff, even though he wasn't there to carry me tonight, sadly. I'll shout out the entire Crazy Boy clan, especially FTH, my favorite guy on Earth, and Pixel and Hunter.
Okay, and Stinson, thank you very much for casting with me. Is there anyone you want to shout out to before we go?
It was a pleasure, CeeJaey. You made me feel safe on your side here. It was our first cast in 2017, I guess. But I want to shout out a lot of people. I want to shout out Double Upload, best team ever. I want to shout out the Doctors of Mediocrity. I want to shout out Wiethoofd for joining us tonight, doing excellent camera work, as I'm sure. I didn't catch it yet, but I've heard good things about it. And shout out to CeeJaey for coming here right after the scrim without any preparation, and everybody who was watching. And shout out to Maria as well.
Okay, yeah, shout out to Wiethoofd. Thank you very much for being the cameraman, and Stinson obviously for a lovely cast as always. It's always a pleasure. So guys, we have had 3 days in a row of Highlander Nations Cup action. Can we make it 4? Hopefully we will. Tomorrow is Sweden versus Germany amongst other games, but we were hoping to at least cast that one game tomorrow. I've been told that we have one caster available and ready to cast tomorrow. So we're looking for a second. So if anyone knows of anyone who's casted before or is interested in doing their first cast, who knows? Go and speak to the people who are relevant, the likes of John and the likes of Wiethoofd. They're the people to contact to try and find out. So hopefully we'll be returning tomorrow with more action. Sweden versus Germany on Upward. I just want to shout out everyone who's involved. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.